probably as much as you do.
No.
And it's important that they do, because you have to think about your future. So
Yes.
some of the things you offer are basically financial education.
Yes.
So take me through some of those things that you're helping kids with, and in addition to the resume, which may lead to financial
Yeah,
stuff.
so inside the plan, the second part of it is actually your business plan. Now, in the financial side, we have the plan book, but I also have a financial literacy course. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna finish the plan book, and then I'll talk about the financial literacy portion also. So the second part of the plan is your business plan, which is meaning like when you're a young kid, if all of us should, and if we don't, then adults should be encouraged just to have dreams, no matter what it happens to be. And the adults in our life, we should take the dreams of the young ones and show them ways that they can be successful and monetize it. An example, a lot of young kids, like all the kids I be around, I'm gonna go to the NBA, Steph Curry, this and that. It's my job to let them know that, yes, that should be the main thing you push for, but if you don't make that, how about that guy next to Steph Curry that's training them that's making $200,000 a year? How about a statistician who just literally writes stats down for games, $80,000 a year? How about it? So I show them all the different positions that make something like the NBA go. So kind of they still want to push for their dream, but if it doesn't work, they still can fall back on their business plan within inside of their likes. And then the third part of our book was the stock market, which we kind of talked about. That will roll into the financial portion. I believe every kid should be involved in the stock market. There's something called paper trading that I never knew about. One thing I'll say is like this thing right here, which I know you guys all see them in schools, but I'll teach kids, we use them all the time. These kids are always on them at a young age.
They're good and bad, Miles.
Yeah. But if they can be on this playing Candy Crush, playing whatever the game is, they can start learning the paper trade. It's a fake simulation of money. They can start to learn what the stock market looks like, what money is like. It's not a bad thing for them to learn. So I try to, like, with my older kids, say, like, one thing I say with the stock market is, you got a cell phone. Like, this cell phone costs me money. If this cell phone's not making me money, it's a bad investment. Like, if it's only costing me money and then I go on YouTube and I'm watching other YouTubers and I'm putting money in their pocket and my phone's not doing anything for me, then it's not a positive investment for myself. So I try to teach them with that, and then I try to get them to start paper trading on their phone. And then in time, like one thing I always say with why you should learn the stock market is, first, approach it from an education standpoint. It's something that you can learn for the next 20 years, never understand it, and then in the 21st year you get it and it can change your whole life. And also what I always say to the kids is, you gotta learn, if you don't learn how to manage your money, then unfortunately you're gonna have to pay somebody else when you get older to do it. So why not take the time to learn how to manage your money, even if you don't have money, so when you do come into money, you're prepared and knowing what to do with it. Not like some people in our community, they'll go from having $100 in their account to getting $15,000. They don't know what to do, make terrible decisions, and it's a disaster.
And it's gone.
Yes.
And I think with sports, there's when people do make it in the NBA or NFL, there's a lot of programs where you all of a sudden you have money.
Yes.
And we hear the million stories of people go
Yep.
broke.
You got a lot of friends. Everybody's around.
Everybody's your friend now, Miles.
Family that you didn't even know about is coming out. So
for your programs, I don't think you go below middle school too much. You try to focus on middle school and above.
yeah. So we just ventured. Actually, with New London Public Schools this year, they were hurting with after school. So our program director, Tim Allen, he put his music program, he catered it for K through 5th graders, and he actually did it at Nathan Hill this year. We're finishing up right now, and what we're doing, we start our planning right now. We'll have more information out probably January, February, but we think the most important thing that we can help with for that K through 5 would be reading. Reading is very important. So we're gonna start to develop more programs for the younger kids based around reading that kind of leads into the programs we have now. So we're not involved with it now, but behind the scenes, we're actively preparing to help that group out.
Does that mean you guys will be expanding in terms of your human power?
Yes, yes. We'll actually, December next week, we'll be putting out some job postings, and we are looking to expand. Yeah.
So with reading, our population is a lot of Spanish speaking. Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to do bilingual?
Yes. Everything we do is going to be bilingual. We've been partnering with a lot of the housing authorities around here, and what a lot of the housing authorities are doing is a lot of them are investing in a position for somebody to be in the community to help out residents where they live. We're partnering a lot of times in a lot of our lower income housing, it is a lot of Hispanic speaking. So that position person is bilingual. We partner with them to make sure all of our stuff is bilingual. All of our flyers we put them bilingual.
Yeah, I can't read the other ones, but I can read sometimes I can read the ones in English, Miles. Yes. But I think it's important. Our community is very bilingual, not just Spanish and English, but Haitian and different
And it's
things.
growing,
And so we have to cater and help
everybody, yes.
And that's tough to do.
Yes.
When you're in a city. to make sure everybody's taken care of. It's just not
hard.
easy. So one of the things I was excited about that your program or community level up did was the program over the summer, which was sports related. I think there might have been other aspects. But I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about it. How many kids?
Yeah, so we had two different things this summer. We had the expansion grant where we had 104 kids between ages 16 and 19 and come in and either take our 8-part financial literacy class, our plan program, which I described, or our program director has a course that he created called Music, Production, and Exploration. What it is you look at the music industry, he teaches you the creative side, he teaches you about the productive side, and he teaches you about the career side of it, so they're seeing all aspects of it though. And outside of those programs that we did, one thing with us is we first started with teens, and we sat back and we was like, how are we gonna, when you start a business, you gotta promote out to people. So we had a choice to make. We could have paid for promotion to try to get it out there to people, or we could sponsor programs for our future clients, which are the younger kids in our community. We chose to do a track program. We were expecting maybe 10 to 15 kids to come do track with us. We ended up getting about 125 kids.
You outdistance yourself?
Yes, it was great. We did it at the high school. It was fantastic. We're gonna do it again.
Awesome.
But one thing we did with our sports is we sponsor youth sports for our future clients. So we figure if I'm their coach, if I'm teaching about education at a young age, teaching about the stuff, and with sports, when they get older, they're gonna see, Coach Miles got this program where he can teach about the stocks and about business. Of course I'm gonna join in with him. So we wanted to make a presence with the younger people, so as they get older, they see us, and we're doing what they want to do with them younger sports. When they get to middle school, we're hoping that they buy into the stuff we want to teach them, and then hopefully they can enter our Preparation for Life program to help get them through.
So let me ask you, because it's a hard thing. What's the best way to connect with kids?
The best way to connect with kids is I would say, be approachable, take an interest in kind of things that they like, and just be human. I used to always, when I was in school, if there's a teacher who couldn't come down, chop it up with me and talk to him. Like a kid, if you wear, when I teach, I wear a suit and tie. I would always wear a tie. But if you got a kid who never wore a tie and their family didn't have much success, and they see you all the time only in a tie and looking that way, they see you almost as something that they can't ever get to. They can't mentalize okay, my family's here, my teacher's here, how do I get there? They just see you as kind of a figure that they'll never be there. So things I always do is even what you were saying earlier, go to the kids' games. If you're gonna say you're gonna go to a game, show up. Go to where they're comfortable. Go in clothes that's maybe similar. Wear some jeans. Wear something to make you look like a human. Go there and talk to them. Take an interest in them, and you'll be shocked at how much respect you can get.
You said something that makes me laugh because learn about what the kids like. As an adult, some of those things are painful.
Yeah.
But listen to some of their music.
Oh, yes.
So you can come in and say, I heard this group, and they go, Mr. Miles knows that?
Yes, yes.
And then to me, that gives a little connection, and you might not like the music, you might not like the TV show or the video games, but that's your in.
Yes.
And then, as you said, maybe as they get older, then they connect with you more, and they want to do more of your programs.
And you can show them, hey, I don't like your music, but that doesn't mean I don't respect you, and I'll still listen to it. So if you don't like something with somebody else, you can't just go disrespect that person. It's okay. We can disagree and still come together and be fine. So it's a good teaching point.
100%. So I was excited about the summer program, and I'm glad it had great success. And I'm going to guess you connected with a lot of kids, emotionally, mentally, everything, and hopefully they'll come back to you. But you have a new program, I think, that you posted on Facebook the other day. It's called Preparation for Life, or PFL. And maybe you could just tell a little bit about that, because it seems kind of exciting, but there is a price tag to this one.
Yes, there is a price tag, but with that, there is a scholarship also. So one thing that I've learned is if I don't put a price point on it, it's so hard for me to get a sponsor, for people to sponsor the program, because a lot of people believe if I'm a volunteer my time and go do something with them, just because I'm doing it for no cost to them doesn't mean that what I'm doing doesn't have value to it. Right. So I had to put a price behind it for that. But we're scholarshiping anybody in New London who wanted, because that's what it's designed for. Anybody who wanted to take that program, will provide a scholarship. It would be free for them. Now this program is it has to do with what we believe the kids need to be successful, and also how do these organizations get funded. One thing we've seen is the state now, what they're looking, they want to see success from year after year after year. They just don't want programs that, you pop up for 1 year, you might have ninth graders, and then you're done with them and have nothing else. So this program kind of came in from the way that they're funded and the need. And what we wanted to do is we had a goal of taking in 12 kids per grade from 6th grade through 12th grade. And we have a different theme for every single year that they're in. We pretty much assign them a mentor in our organization. As long as the school is on board, that mentor would meet with that student once per week in the school. If the school doesn't allow us to come in with COVID, it makes it a little difficult, we can do it virtual. If virtual or in school during the day we couldn't meet with them, that's why we also created those partnerships around the community. We can go to their community to meet with them. So we want to check in with them in their education. We want to check in with them in their extracurricular in the community, and we want them to check in with us at least once a week, constantly moving forward 10 months throughout the year. So that's kind of where this program is. In middle school, it kind of starts like we develop the kids in 6th and 7th. We give them the work ethic that they need. 8th grade, we want them to kind of see where they can get to past high school. So see the whole road and prepare them for the hard work that needs to come. 9th grade, they start learning about different careers, learning about different things. 10th grade, they start to specialize a little bit more. 11th grade, we start to get them a little bit of real world experience. 12th grade, we got them doing kind of like a full practicum, at minimum 120-hour internship. With the jobs that we're partnering with, we want them pretty much like, if we're bringing a senior in here to work with you, you got to give that kid responsibility to contribute and at least give that kid an opportunity to make this something that to where your organization will invest in them, whether it's investing in their education, investing in giving them a job, but give them an opportunity to make something out of it, not just something to where they're coming to get experience and then the door closes at the end. So
it's 12 kids per grade.
Yes, yeah.
And for this program, would it be a recommendation from like the school?
So with this one, we have an intake form with this. One thing that I've learned, we still do all of our classes, but a lot of times if you just do a class and you don't actually sit with a person and their family at first and let them know everything, that the expectation, what it all is, they get the misunderstanding of what it is. So with this program, there's on our flyer, you can schedule a free intake, a 15-minute intake with a staff member from Community Level Up. Most likely it's gonna be me. In that intake, what I do is I kind of get to know about the kid and the family. I let them know where we wanna get them to, and I just make sure we're all on the same page, that we're going to support each other moving forward inside of this program.
So you're setting the expectations.
Yes.
Right,
yeah. And I think in the past I didn't do that well enough, and therefore we had kids come in, but sometimes we would lose them and stuff though. Yeah. And then like when you work with the teams, like a lot of teams we had this summer, they weren't even in the schools. A lot of them were kind of around the street. So like if you get them and lose them, you can't even find them again. So this whole way, like by the intake, we can build a database. Everybody slowly start to show change. And also data is very important. So I want to like track I want to see that, okay, is what I'm doing, is it positive to these kids to help them in the future? Like if what I'm doing with a 6th grader, it should help them be better in their 7th grade year. Right. And if the data's not showing that, then I need to go back to the drawing board, recreate some programs and make it better though.
So I guess it may be a little bit of a harder question. If we have a child struggling and like the principal come to you and recommend that they think this program could help, are you looking for those kids or are you looking for the kids that are sort of already doing okay, or a combination?
I would say a combination of both. Realistically, like I think this kind of a program is something that can kind of be like a district-wide, city-wide, bigger in time. We just only have so much manpower, so we had to limit the numbers. But we hope as we bring more people in, those numbers go up, or this same kind of a model and program could be implemented inside of a whole school system, could be implemented inside of a whole district. Yeah. So in time, we hope to expand it with more. We just, the numbers that we put up there was just based off of the manpower that we physically have at this time.
And I would think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, by helping the kids, by extension, it would help the school district.
Yes.
And build capacity of the kids within the school. So hypothetically, these students who you're mentoring become leaders.
Yes, and we're hoping like, one thing we want to do is like, we want to invest, like our whole thing is community level up, invest in yourself so you can invest in your community.
Yeah.
So like the seniors and juniors that we're investing in, we're expanding also. So like I'll be even telling them, I think realistically, some of our staff members may be seniors in high school right now. Like I tell all of the kids, community level up was built, it wasn't built like Miles Daniels runs this, he's the one thing. Like my position as president is voted on by our people. Like I'm not a dictator, and I tell everybody like, I'm not gonna bring anybody into our organization that couldn't do my job. My program director could easily do my job. All the people we can bring in could easily do my job. And I think that's important. I think I need a person always on me, making sure that I'm at my best. And the day comes, and whenever the day comes when I can't get up at 4 o'clock, stay up to 11, grinding all this, then somebody else needs to take the spot. And I tell the kids straight up all the time, like, the 7th grader, you might be the one running this. The senior, you could come in here next year, do a better job and take my spot. This organization was mission built. It wasn't Miles built. So like, Like I have other things that I do that is for the legacy of my family. Community Level Up is not that thing. It's for the legacy of our community, and we hope that it's just a mindset and a program we build in that even when I'm not running it, there's somebody else in our community that takes it over, and it kind of always keeps going.
So Miles, how proud would it make you, hypothetically, when you're done, and one of your kids who maybe go through your program take over for you?
That would be like, that would, I mean, I don't cry much, but you might get different, man. No,
Sorry, Miles.
that would be really what it's about. Like, I was always wanting to say, like if anybody knows me, I don't brag, I don't boast. I'm very confident with what I can do. I don't believe there's nothing I can't do, but I'm not one to be out there braggadocious and boasting. And I believe, like, my biggest impact, it shouldn't be felt from anything that I say. You should be able to come to the people around me that I work with, whether it's staff, whether it's kids, and the impact that I make on their life really determines how successful I was. So I was always a person to where I'll never talk on how successful I am on that. I look at, like, if anybody wants to know how I'm doing, how the program's doing, talk to some of the people involved with it. If I can't get across the mission to them and change their life, then I'm not doing that good job as a leader.
And I think a true mark of success is when other people talk about you, and you don't have to.
Yes.
I don't like talking about myself. It doesn't sound like you do either.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you're selling your program. You're not selling Miles.
No, not at all. No.
You're selling a system that Miles can go away.
Yeah, and even with a lot of our success came. A lot of our flyers would say I pull myself away from a lot of the stuff. I'm involved with everything we do as far as helping create programs, but I realized that, like, I don't need to. When you do something for the better of other people, it's not about yourself. So I don't need people saying, Miles, you did a great job. I just need these kids and these people learning out there. So, like, even in our organization, like, truthfully, our program director, Tim, he's better social, like, he has more of a following than I do in socially. So I push him to the forefront for a lot of our stuff, and I have no problem with that. It's kind of, we're all just mission-based with what we do. So it's trying to make a positive impact, truthfully.
So we've got a few more minutes here, and I just want to remind everyone, it's Miles Daniels, Community Level Up, based in New London. What's the address? 322
State Street. We are located directly across the street from the Guard Art Theater or adjacent from the New London Public Library.
And I'm not sure if it's come full circle, but on the last part here, you've taken a new job. Or
yes.
a new hobby. I'm not sure if it's a job or a hobby or what it is.
This year's been interesting. If anybody who knows, I thought I was doing some basketball stuff with the community. Some things changed. I actually, Williams School, prep school, they brought me in. I'm coaching varsity basketball at Williams. I'm helping also to develop a pipeline for more urban kids to get more diversity in there for New London kids. And Huntington Baptist Street Church, we got a partnership with them doing our youth sport. So I'll be helping out with 9 and under basketball instructional starting January 8th. Myself, Kareem Brown from New London, and Alan Cheney also. We're all coming together trying to collaborate to bring something positive for the community.
So I'll put you on the spot, Miles.
It's all good.
You're coaching Williams.
Yes.
You're the varsity coach.
Yes.
What's your record going to be this year?
Ooh, I say it's going to be a better Williams team. I don't like to say off the record, but I will say is
Well, you don't have to. You just say I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, I'll say is that our games are going to be competitive. It's going to be a style of play that you would want to come to. And we got a couple guys that can play above the rim, so it's going to be a fun stuff to watch. And I think I got some people that are going to play in college. So I think Williams might be a little different than what people would expect.
Okay.
But I used to coach at St. Thomas More. Everybody knows St. Thomas More. That's a powerhouse, like NBA players.
It's going to be very different.
Yeah,
Williams.
It's not that. We're not that, but we're working to try to get close to that. But one thing I love about Williams is, like, one thing they told me is, hey, you can bring kids in, but the academic commitment, we cannot change that. So, like, we can help with financial to get kids in, but we're not dropping our academic level. And I thought that was a perfect match because with Community Level Up, we'll take anybody on in. But what the expectation is, it does not drop for anybody. We help them raise up to it, but it does not drop.
So, Miles, we have a call. I'm going to try to attempt to answer it, and we've got 1 minute left.
Sounds good. Let's make it quick.
Hello, caller.
Oh, you did good, Brian. I'm proud of you. I have a question to ask Miles.
Yes.
I understand. I've been watching the show. You've been involved in football.
Yes.
And also basketball. My question is, did you ever play rec basketball in New London?
Yes, I did. Played for the Bulls.
What team did you play for?
I played for the Bulls, and I played for the Sonics. Reggie was my coach back in the day. Yeah, Bulls in senior league, Sonics in preteen.
Okay. I thought I recognized your name.
I used to have like braids when I was younger.
And I just had to double check because I was involved in rec basketball, I think, when you were playing many years ago.
If you're ever around State Street, come check us out. I would love to stay and chat with you.
Well,
did we
it
lose
looks like our show's all over.
Okay. Well,
Thank you,
good
Cheryl, for the
show,
call.
guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
And thank you, Miles, for
I
coming in.
appreciate it, Brian. Thank you, man.